Welcome to the Running Jux and Bustin' Move Show. Episode 2. You already know. Aaron Hugh.
Ace Bigger Valley.
Back with another one.
Little ass nigga.
If you want a reminder of what it's like to move around in these streets, subscribe to our channel. We're not scammers. This is the disclaimer, right?
Facts.
We're not scammers. Facts.
Facts.
We're not drug dealers.
Facts.
Not shooters, right?
Facts.
We're just students of the game.
Facts.
We gain inspiration from running around in the streets. From the club promoters to the IG models to the rappers to the street philosophers to the hustlers in all shapes and sizes. Y'all inspire this show. So the last show we had was in 2017.
Damn, son, that shit sound far.
It was. The way you moving, sometimes it just gotta be as long as time ago. We in 2018, January 2018. How was your New Year's Eve celebration?
Bro, I worked.
We regular niggas. That's what regular niggas gotta do, bro. We gotta work.
I ain't gonna hold you, I worked.
You work, but did they at least pop a bottle of champagne for you at the job? Did they at least bring the Moet out?
Nah, son.
Nah? They didn't even go around with little cups?
I went home.
Oh my God,
I went
bro.
home and bust my little thing down at the crib.
Y'all gotta subscribe to this show because this nigga need to live again. He ain't trying to have another New Year's like that. Subscribe to this show. Alright? Keep us alive, alright?
Word.
New Year's Eve was kind of cool with me. I was out of town. I was in DC.
Right.
I liked it. It was fun. It was some friends. It was just a situation where my boy hit me. We got a plug to a club, and it's a good deal. You want to bust that move? Why the fuck not? So we bust the move, and it was a good look. While I was down there, before going to the club, I think I was there from Friday night, 29th,
Right.
and I came back here on Monday, the 1st
Right.
of January. And while I was down there, I went to the African American Museum of History and Culture.
Right.
So I had to get some culture.
Mad lady.
That was Saturday, right? Had to do that. Met with some friends. It was real nice. We could talk about it for a little bit. And then after that, I just got shit faced. So I felt like it was the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying?
You got culture.
A little culture, a little alcohol poisoning.
Sounds like a good weekend.
It was alright. It was
Sounds
alright.
like a positive weekend.
It was alright. It was alright. Yeah, some shit I did. I don't think I want to talk about it too crazy. Could have, but overall, I liked how I came to the new year with all positive energies,
You
man.
enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, facts.
That's all that matters, bro. You told me this story, so we gonna keep that between homies.
Yeah, let's keep it. I don't mind sharing with the homies too, the viewers. But if it comes up in conversation, it comes up. What do you want me to do?
Right.
But just know, I left the bad energy in 2017, came into good energy with 2018. I'm proud of myself because I could have disgraced somebody's daughter, but I didn't. Because God might give me a daughter one day. Anyway. But we did get into some shit before 2017 ended. There was a couple of shows we hit.
Right.
One being Uzi Vert at Terminal 5.
Lady.
And I gotta tell you, Uzi Vert may be like, or he already is. I think he's a superstar. I think he's already a superstar. What do you think?
Bro, I think he's a superstar.
Yeah, he's a bona fide.
Yeah, especially the way they treat him, bro. The way they have his music and all that. He's a star, bro.
He's everywhere.
He knows how to make music, too.
But you've been on him for a while, though. And yeah.
And I went to the concert that was out here in PA.
Uh-huh.
And that was when Too Much Sauce was out. That was
right.
Jam, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
That Too Much Sauce was.
It was a good. I think it was all right. I thought it was a catchy song, but I still wasn't sold on him at that point.
Yeah, right. But he's a star. He's good at music, bro. He's good at making music, bro.
And what is that though? Like,
his fandom is crazy.
His fans are fucking nuts. I gotta tell you that.
His stands
are fucking nuts. At his show, I think, like, I've been to quite a few concerts lately. since that's like kind of the point of the show, which gave me the inspiration to share it with you all. But that crowd was easily the rowdiest crowd I've ever been a part of. To the point where like I'm in my mid-20s and I'm somehow ended up in a fucking mosh pit. And like that reminded me that I'm old as fuck now. I can't do it like I used to. But I mean, when's the last time? It's not often you go to a rap concert and you are in the middle of a mosh pit. That's rock star shit. That's legendary rock star Jimi Hendrix, Black Sabbath shit. You know what I'm saying?
He don't consider himself a rapper though.
He doesn't. I would honestly though.
He's not.
I don't think I do neither.
I don't think he's a rapper neither. I think Uzi is whatever the fuck the genre is called when they come up with it. Right?
Yeah, whatever the name of it is.
And then I think he's. I'm at the point where all right, bro. I see it, bro. I see it, bro. And I'm not gonna be like, yo, he's like, I'm not one of them guys. I'm a little bit of an old head. A little bit, but I'm not one of them guys that's gonna be like, yo, I'm all about downing the lyrics, bro. I see his whole shit. Like, I understand why people like him.
You do?
Like his music. I actually like his music, and I've liked it for a while. And then his fans, bro, that's you in being with them fans. I'm not with that, bro. I'm smooth criminal backstage, bro. I like getting that experience, but definitely. Uzi is the man.
One thing about his fans, when I got there, you get the vibe of who his fans are.
Right. Soon as you get there.
As soon as you got there. The thing I'm trying to think of right now is when I got to the show, it's like a bunch of young teeny boppers, at least in line with their tickets. And I'm trying to think to myself, when's the last time I saw a rapper, a hip hop artist, with this type of fan base?
Right.
When's the last time we seen a hip hop guy with this type of fan base where it's like young, suburban, crazy kids loving this kid who's making hip hop music? I would say Uzi makes hip hop music, but I'm not gonna call him a rapper really. Can we think of someone?
I'm trying, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Maybe the Mob has that. Maybe the Mob, ASAP Mob, but even ASAP Mob still has that hood appeal.
You comparing the mosh pit thing?
It's just the fan base, that the people who are showing up at your shows and showing you the love.
Uzi's shit is different because look, I know how Uzi's concert looked in the city. But I know they were young. They might have been suburban. Young. They might have been
suburban little white kids.
But yo, they just different when you go to PA.
What's it like?
I don't know, bro. I don't even know how to like. It's a little bit mixture. It's a little bit, but they just different, bro. They don't act like the kids that are in New York. That's what I'm saying. They're not about to like they're. I just don't know how to explain. They're not gonna act like the kids that are going to Terminal 5. You know what I'm saying? Those kids that are living around in New York City. These kids that live out here, they're coming from like Pittstown and Scranton. They're different.
So what are
they don't mosh? It ain't no mosh pit.
Oh, ain't no moshing.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't no mosh pit there, bro. Like,
I feel like they'll mosh hard as fuck out here.
There wasn't no moshing out there. Motherfuckers is just. He was on the stage and he jumped in the crowd. Like then, like you'll see somebody hanging, like maybe hanging on the.
They was doing some crowd surfing too.
On some, he ain't doing no crowd surfing.
Well, there's people crowd surfing.
They weren't no crowd surfing.
Wow. Well, then you also talking about it. Like he's put out a lot of work since when you saw him last, and then to when I saw him just now. It's
not that much. If too much sauce, you would say the EXO tour thing came out right after.
And that put him like mega.
Yeah, but his thing was there, bro. Like Uzi's thing was there for a minute since the first Love Is Rage. His thing has been there.
I feel you. His star power appeal.
Now he's making more songs that are just like The Weeknd. Let's not forget what made that song go big. The Weeknd sung that thing over in a whole video.
Yeah,
you know, like, and that these are. I'm not saying what made it get big, but these are things that were helping it get big.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, one thing I would say, I can't. So Obviously, look, Uzi's star power is undeniable. One thing I can't ignore though is some of the artists, some of the people he had in there that like led up to him coming out on that night. Cause another one of your guys, Playboy Cardi, was on made a performance right before him. But before Playboy Cardi, let me get around. I want to shout these young guys out because I hope they make it. I root for all. Austin Mills, Harlem-based DJ. He did a good thing. I always think a good DJ. What you think makes? I think, in my opinion, you could give me your opinion. But what makes a good DJ is a DJ who has his ear to the streets, like his ear to like what's hot. He's not listening to no radio. He's not. You could go on YouTube and that kind of there's a lot of stuff out there that got views and that you're not really gonna hear on the radio, but it's sort of like he had a club ear. Like he knows, like he been to Lust, or he went to the strip clubs down south in Atlanta, and he kind of bumped that when he was doing his set, and you could tell like he's got an ear for like what's going on in the streets. What do you think make a good DJ nowadays? Is everybody DJ?
I think what make a good DJ nowadays? What make a good DJ nowadays is knowing the popular song,
knowing the hot shit, right?
Nowadays,
yeah.
What makes a good DJ is what you just said. That's
cool. Cause I think I remember back in the day when DJs were putting you on. They were the ones who were leaking video songs out back in the day. But yeah, so shout out to Austin Mills. Yeah, that style. This is dumb. Now they don't really do it like that no more. Unfortunately, but Austin Mills, shout out to him. He was a good DJ. Opened up the whole night. Out of Harlem. Wish you the best of luck. Who else was after? After him, there was this kid named Lil Skies. He's a little rapper. I don't really a little rapper, but he's a young guy out of Pennsylvania. I don't really know where, out of PA, but he's from out here. He kind of reminds me of maybe I'm just taking a shot at it, but he kind of reminds me of a young. Like when I saw him, it reminded me of when I saw a young Wiz Khalifa. Even though they're two different artists, but they have like this young this very like naivete in their music. Where it's like you could kind of like hear not the immaturity, but the youthfulness in their music. But he's got a bit of a star power. His kid's like, I don't know how old he is. I don't even think he's 18. The kid's yadded up like a Subway in Harlem. But he's a young guy, so you guys can check him out. Lil Skies or whatever. He's got views. He's got like views. He's got views. I've seen a couple songs like millions, like in a million views.
And from PA? From PA,
yeah. He's doing numbers with his views on a couple of his songs.
That's cool. You guys definitely do. What's his name?
Lil
Skies,
like Skies. So check him out.
Check out Lil Skies.
Check out Lil Skies. And then after that, bro, then your boy came out. Playboy Cardi. I'm a fan of Cardi. I wish him the best. I got a little issue with his music, but what put you on Cardi?
The homie Lake. Shout out to the homie Lake, man. Shout out to you, bro.
My guy.
That's my guy, bro.
He put you on Cardi?
And it was a rap after that, bro. Woke up to
Fucking Like Me. Yeah, that's a hot song. Yeah, that's definitely a hot song. What else is there? We got Magnolia, the Jay-Z co-signed song.
Bro, I told you. I think Jay-Z was high when when he sent that whole message, bro. I think he was off the shrooms.
He went over like, give me your phone. Give me your phone back.
You texting about hella niggas that only been in the game for like 6 months. He texted 21.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? And then he did the co-sign. But he texted, I'm like, bro, you going over niggas that's been in the game for
mad facts.
Spaces.
I like Cardi. He had a verse on Minute. With Nav and Metro Boom. That's your guy too.
There you go, right there. We had that conversation at Metro. We're gonna talk about it later.
Yeah, Metro's cool. I like Metro. Metro Boomin, he's all right. He's definitely getting the respect in the industry. Regardless, I mean, I think I see why people like. I see why other artists fuck with him. But your boy Cardi definitely put on the show. You know why he put on the show? He brought out ASAP. It's the second show or third show I've been to, and ASAP pops up and unexpectedly.
Man, I remember when I first saw ASAP.
Rocky, that is. ASAP Rocky, that is. Rocky
Show.
pulled up.
His show was they're so epic. Look ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's just that Rocky pulled up, and I'm just like kind of trying to understand a little bit because he definitely didn't have to because it had nothing to do with him.
Right.
So kind of makes me. I feel like these guys are strategic, so I always kind of like look into
New York,
it.
Though. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think New York is one of those places where you can test the potency of your creativity.
You'd be surprised to how many of these niggas still be in New York too. Like when other stars come to New York, they might hit up Rocky, like not on some like, yo, I gotta hit you up to come to the city.
Nah, like, just like collab.
Yeah, I'm coming to the city. You in the city, and
It's
you'd be surprised how many times these niggas like be in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like Rocky probably is here a lot, and we think he's in London.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I when he brought out Rocky, the roof blew off the whole
Rocky's
venue.
A big crowd. I mean, a big little.
Yeah, he got a strong fan base. Like people love Rocky out here. They love the whole mob out here. There was and then he played. I was gonna say he did a little verse on Minute. I liked it. He said, "I'm in Fulton with the slimes. We pull up with the mops, and when I'm talking about the mob, that's Harlem to the Bronx." I'm like, ow, ow. Nah, that's
nigga Cardi.
Yo, Playboy Cardi on. And then I woke up to niggas talking like me, and that's like hard. My only thing with Cardi is like he definitely is a vibe artist. Like he don't really spit. It's more so like you feeling away, and so you gonna bump it.
It's like what famous. You ever seen that Famous X video, bro? Like we just entertainers. Like he was saying. Like rappers like that, they entertainers. They not like J. Cole and Nas and them. Those is rappers. He said himself. He's like myself. I'm an entertainer. I'm here to entertain. So my whole shit is like that's how it is. Like I don't even be caring if them niggas don't rap a lick of lyrics in the song, bro. Like I know what they're like. I don't expect like if Kodak. I don't expect Kodak to come with no bars, bro.
But but Kodak be saying something though, bro. Kodak be saying shit
right, like. So when I see like Uzi, then Uzi don't say shit. You better not say it.
Uzi verse don't say shit.
I don't expect him to say shit though.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, you don't.
Should I be like, oh nah, that shit is everybody don't need to say shit.
Yeah, everybody don't need to say no.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're right. You know what? It kind of reminds me of like so recently they've said like hip hop has like eclipsed that number one spot in music, the number one genre spot in music.
Right.
And like rock music went through that where there was one type of rock music at one point. Right. And then now a whole bunch of different type of rock music started being made. You got punk, you got I don't even know any other types, but it's like classic and all that stuff there's mad types of rock though. We can all agree on that. And hip hop's kind of like there. It's just that I don't know if the powers that be are really respecting. They're respecting it in terms of signing these artists, but they're not respecting it in terms of like giving it a label, giving it a name. Yeah, you know. Sure. So we'll see. But I think it's great, man. I think I haven't been this inspired with hip hop since like I was in college, maybe.
I don't care what no one say, bro. I love what I listen to. You know
yeah.
And I got a good little playlist. You might hear Uzi. You might hear.
Yeah. What's your playlist? Shout your playlist out. You get some people to follow your playlist. Unless your shit private now.
Yeah, my shit private.
All right, bet.
You be playing your shit on my shit was, but I had so much songs in there. I'm like, nobody about to listen to this whole shit. Like, our playlist is lit. I'm gonna put my shit on public. And then I'll tell y'all next time.
Also, before we go, I like Uzi again because you could tell the powers that be are pushing this motherfucker in a way because he's on that Smoke Dope. Was it Smoke Dope? That's a single. That's a soundtrack from the Bright movie.
He is on that? Oh yeah,
he's not.
He sings a song.
He's on a song on it.
Yeah.
On the soundtrack.
There's a few good songs on that soundtrack.
There's a few good songs on it. I like Netflix, but we'll talk about that. I like how Netflix. I feel like I get what Netflix is trying to do, but.
Netflix is about to.
I think they trying to take over the whole world.
Yo, go listen to What's the one you put me on to? Master Scale.
Master
The
Scale
one with
podcast.
Netflix.
Oh yeah, with
He breaks
Reed
that-
Hastings.
He breaks that whole. That's why when you just said that, I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited to see the trajectory of Uzi's career and just hip hop overall. It's super dope. I think we're in a really great time. Next, what was the next thing that I went to was Up and Down. Up and Downs had a hosted G-Eazy's like album release celebration. It really wasn't even an album release party. It kind of was an album release party, but not in the traditional sense. Like when you think of album release parties, you usually think like it's like a listening party. You have to go listen to the album for the first time, but no, he just played a couple hits and then, so it was like a celebration of the album release at Up and Down, which was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So I'm gonna be honest. What do you think was the only reason that made me want to go? My boy knows me well. I really was. The only incentive for me going to this was like, I know G-Eazy probably gonna have a nice crowd. Like he gonna attract a certain type of women. I'm probably gonna be attracted to the women that he attracts. So let me pull up. So I had I had an extra ticket. You couldn't make that one. So my boy Ed pulled up with me. My Ghanaian brother Ed, he pulled up with me. We went through no problem. And I'm gonna tell you at the end about this because like one thing I liked about it is like I kind of got put on a little bit in terms of the hustle behind it. Hence running just and busting moves. A guy kind of put me on the hustle a little bit about organizing these type of parties, which I like, but we'll get to that. So I pulled up, we went in, no problem. The crowd was filling in. We did a couple laps of the spot. It was on the upstairs level. One thing I'll tell people when you go to Up and Down, if you ever go to Up and Down and you're in New York, it's worth it, but don't go on Saturdays. Or I'll put like this, try to go on weekdays. You can go whenever the hell you want to go. Just go on weekdays though, because you have more freedom to move around. On the weekends, they really be putting the clamps on you, right. How to move, where you can get into, what you can't get into, but if you go on the weekdays, it's a lot easier to move around, and they kind of always have a decent crowd. They attract a certain type of lady. You know what I mean?
Certain type of lady.
The one you might like.
Right.
When I got there, we did a couple laps. We went up and down. No pun intended. And then, because there's 2 floors. And then we kind of set up shop. We got there like around, maybe around midnight. And then I think a tranny tried to hit on. Yo, why are these trannies coming? Because in the last episode we talked about a tranny, but another tranny pulled. We don't know if she was a tranny, but I think she was a tranny. Yo, that ass was like lifting her skirt up a little bit. Like she had like a shirt top. Look, I don't know if she was a tranny. She just has a strong ass jaw.
Right.
But she was like lifting her skirt. She had a tattoo like on her thigh, up her ass, and she was flashing Ed, my boy Ed. So Ed wasn't with it because we wasn't sure what she was. But whatever. Anyway, another tranny pops up in our lives. And then anyway, but the party kind of got going. It was cool. I ended up standing up shop at a bar. And then G-Eazy pulled up. And like it was cool. The dude Richie, I don't know his name, but I know his face is always. Anytime an artist pulls up and down, he's there. This dude named Richie Achiever. I don't know. We'll put his Instagram up so you don't get it mistaken. But he was there. He's like, I think he's like the face of Up and Down and 1-0. Right. So when artists come through, they take a picture with him, and he's like definitely one of the minds that was like the starter of their whole brand.
Right.
Richie A. Call him Richie A right now. We'll definitely put his Instagram up. And but it was cool because like one thing I would say, like, it met my expectations because the babies was out. The little babies was definitely out on that Tuesday night. And like Jeezy pulled up with his shorty, Halsey. And I didn't know she was this fucking famous.
Neither did I. I just started seeing her.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, just started seeing her.
Yeah, I didn't know she was this famous. She has the song. She just sings a song. Closer with the Chainsmokers. If you're a pop girl, like a little into C100, you already know this, and we
She
just
got red
found
hair
out.
still.
She has like a shortcut, I think now, and they like trying to put on. She's like, yo, she's the next one up. I mean, they saying she the next one up. She might be.
I'm gonna check her out a little more.
Yeah,
When I catch a song.
yeah, she got that one song with Closer to Chainsmokers. She has another couple songs too. She has a song with G-Eazy, Him and I.
Mm-hmm. You listen to his CD?
Let's talk about it.
Right.
Beauty and the is the name of it. The Beauty and the Damned, right?
It's more than alright. Yeah, should we sleep on G-Eazy?
As what? In terms of what?
It's just a rapper.
As a straight rapper.
They don't put no names on it.
As a just a regular lyricist, spitter.
Don't even put no name. He's just a rapper.
And are we? She says, should we sleep on him? Like, is it like crickets for him?
Like, is he doing his? Do we think he's doing his? Like, he's doing his job and he's doing it well. Like when Asher Rock came into the scene,
he's better than Asher.
Say it with your chest, little ass nigga.
I'll give him that.
He's good.
He's better than
what
Asher.
about there's another kid, the other Diggy, Lil man, I forgot what the white boy name is. He be doing them fucking condom commercials now. Man.
What?
Bro be getting money though. He a rapper though. I forgot his name.
Oh,
Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky.
What about him?
He's nice.
Is Jeezy?
Honestly, I'll give you this. So that's about the Beauty and the Damned.
It's a good CD.
It's a good. I was actually listening to it on the way here because I was writing it. I was writing about the experience, and it was a good album. It was a good. I think he's on the right track. I mean, there's a couple tracks he could have. I think it's like 20 or 19 tracks on it, 18 tracks, something like that. It's in the high teens. He definitely could have cut some songs out. Like, I'm not gonna. All right, the E41 was okay.
I think it's better than Sean CD.
Big Sean and Metro Boom CD,
and just the last one I decided on. I decided. I think it's better than I decided CD. Or what?
I put them on the same level, bro, because they have songs that could potentially turn out to be timeless.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know yet because the time it hasn't really passed that much. Not that much time has passed yet.
Like he definitely catching the names on this one, bro.
In terms of features,
yeah, bro, he catching the names on the big, like the songs that he's putting out. I mean, like he's making sure. So he's definitely catching the eyes and attention, the ears of people. So he bringing niggas to listen to that CD because that's what got me to listen to the CD in general. Like if it wasn't for Cardi on that one song, not Cardi B,
Cardi, French, ASAP, Rocky.
I fucked with that whole, I fucked with the whole song. I thought it was dope. And then what's the other one? No Limit.
That's the same song. No Limit.
So what's the other one with
he got a few songs on there. He has. I like that one. I like the No Limit song. I like Pray For Me.
Can't look at the
yeah, I like. All right, so I like Pray For Me. I like. Let's look at it here. So he's got the first track is hard. Pray For Me is good. I like Pray For Me. I like the No Limit track. And then he's got the song with his girl. Him and I. That's a pop record, but I mean it's a mega. It could be. It's potentially like a really popular one. I'll say this honestly. Tracks 1 through.
You didn't get it on 5, like we were just saying. I don't like Butter Dream.
Tracks 1 through you can listen. You can listen to the whole album. Tracks 1 through 11.
The plan is dope. Definitely dope. There's a few tracks on here that are dope. I like the one with Sober is dope just because it should like a little deepness.
Right. So I'll say that. That's what I'll say. I'll stick to this. Tracks 1 through Summer and what? Summer
in December.
Summer in December.
Definitely.
All right.
There's a few songs on
that are you can cut the fuck out. You could skip, and I think that's only because it's long. It's 20 songs.
I don't think bro knows how to fully make.
You don't think he knows how to make a whole album?
A good one.
But he knows how to make good songs.
Yes. And
I'll give him that. And I think he'll get that whole. And I don't know. This is like his second album, I think.
Yeah.
So he'll figure it out. But in terms of rapping, I'm not sleeping on him.
Oh no.
I'm not sleeping on him just off the fact that he's a white rapper. And I know I don't want to sound like I'm not sleeping on him in terms of I don't want to give him that label neither. Like, oh, he's a white rapper, but like white rappers kind of get it easily. Kind of get like an easier route.
And I'm not gonna hold you. They rap differently, bro. Like if we really listening to every last one of them, and you critique it, they rap differently. It's a different. Like they're doing the proper way of rapping. It seems like at times, like if there was a book, if some white guy
wrote like a technical analysis book on spitting,
some Harvard motherfucker,
wrote a thesis on it.
They do it like to the T. It's like playing when you see them play basketball. They learn how to shoot the jump shot.
Yeah, they technical with it. It's all in the legs. For sure, I'll give you that. I'll say he's a white rapper, so his path to like stardom will be easier. But don't let that discredit his rapping ability. I think he's a rapper. I think he has a good ear for how to make a song. He has a good ear for how to make it because he's got the song. He got No Limit. Pray For Me is a good track. On the last album, he had Order More. He's got Me, Myself, and I. Like, come on, that's not by chance. That's not because he's white. That's because he's got a fucking ear for this shit.
That song got annoying too. That Me, Myself.
Yeah, it did get annoying.
It was good though.
But his good songs get annoying.
He did his job. I like him, bro. I'm gonna definitely keep listening to the song, to his CD. He definitely did a good job. Jeezy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yo, shout out to Jeezy.
When you come back in the city, I'm definitely gonna be there. I'm gonna try to be there.
Send us some damn press,
some merch.
Just
give us a t-shirt.
Huh?
I'll take a t-shirt.
I'll take a press ticket. That's free, bro.
All right. Yeah, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
I want that because I want that shit. But not because you're talking good shit.
You was dope.
But you're a good guy. Yeah. So that was like the two shows that I went to.
That was good.
Last month in December.
Jeezy and
the last 2 weeks.
And then Uzi, huh? That was a good selection, bro. That's here and then.
A little bit of both, right?
Kyrie.
John Thompson. Puts up the shot. It's good.
Right to left to right?
It's a nice
Bad. It's Kyrie, bro, because it'll be from the same hood, bro. That's why, honestly.
What's our selection?
Coming up? Yeah. So coming up, I'm looking at Davies show. January 16th, 2018.
Day after
MLK Day.
Yep.
We gotta find something to do for MLK Day.
Definitely gotta find something to do. Leo, let us know what to do. Did I say that right? Let us know what we should be doing that weekend.
Right.
For sure.
I think we're gonna find something to do in terms of like I want to do something a little cultural. You know, I can't just be out here getting drunk and going to concerts and debauchers.
To the Brooklyn Museum.
The Brooklyn Museum?
One in Brooklyn, at least.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
It's dope, though.
There's a Brooklyn Museum, and I heard about this other thing called Weeksville. And it's about like a village in Brooklyn that was, I might be saying the name wrong, but it doesn't matter because we're going to put it in here when we edit. But it's Weeks something. But it was a village in Brooklyn that they've kind of restored and kept and upkept. And it's like one of the first free towns for blacks, dating back to like I think the early 1800s in New York and Brooklyn. So that could be an option too. But we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do something. Weeksville or something.
Type in Weeks
in Brooklyn. Type Weeks in Brooklyn. It's gonna pop up. So we'll find something to do for that. But in terms of coming up, the shows we're looking at right now, Davies show.
Right, Davies is like you just said the date. That's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, a lot of I posted it on my gram, like the IG story, and I've seen interest. Like a lot of people, I know a couple girls want Davies to be their baby daddy.
Some things are gonna be there.
So some things are gonna be there, and I might appreciate that along from Davies. And then a couple of my homies hit me up like, "Yo, Davies, that guy." Because he's more our age range in terms,
And he played with Kevin Durant. That's pretty awesome.
He did dunk on an NBA player at some point in his career, so that's pretty cool. So Davies is an option for a show coming up. Also, Rich the Kid. That's you know what I mean? Right to left. So we got a spitter.
Yo, you think Kendrick is on? Think he gonna do some surprise shit? Kendrick is bougie though.
Fingers crossed.
But I seen him perform mad dope.
I never seen him perform.
Mad dope. Penn
Have I
State.
seen him?
Penn State. He killed Penn State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he came to Hofstra,
Killed
but I had already graduated.
So
But
hopefully he brings out Kendrick for just that performance. I don't know too many. Well, he might bring out
Well,
Famous Tag.
let me see. Let me tell you though. Let me tell you who he's got. He's got it's him. In his little crew, in Rich the Kid's crew. Rich the Kid is also a New Yorker from Queens. Although when you hear his music, he sounds from some other shit. But I think that's the internet to thank. Because you got Rich the Kid in his crew. I think their group is called Rich Forever. He's got this Famous Dex,
Right.
who's got Pick It Up, Pick It Up, Pick It Up. Ooh,
Who's dope?
baby girl, watch how you
Is that
move.
the shit with A$AP?
And that's the song with ASAP. ASAP Rocky.
Dope song.
So like it's like I'm not crazy. And then he's got this kid Jay Critch, who's from Brooklyn. I've heard like a couple songs of Jay Critch. I like Jay Critch. I think he's probably the most purest rapper in their crew. He's a young guy. But
He's hot. He definitely plays some.
I definitely played you a couple songs earlier today. And he's got fashion, and then he's got
1,000 miles. Away.
Thousand ways with Harry Fraud.
That was hard.
That's a hard track. It's a real. If you like rap,
Some songs you gotta download.
ASAP. As soon as you hear it, you right. As soon as you hear the song, give me it. Yeah. The only thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about. So yeah, we're gonna look at that show coming up, and I think that's on. When's that? The 20th. I think that's the 20th. I think it's the 20th. And that's at I don't think that's Urban Plaza. Davies at Urban Plaza, but we're gonna figure out. But Rich the Kid and his boys are coming through. Rich the Kid, Jay Critch, and Famous Dex. They're gonna come up to New York on 20th, I believe. So we're gonna look out for that, and I'm gonna write something up for you guys to let you know how that experience was. I'm trying to get the homies to come through for at least one of them. I think the Davies one is where my age group is looking at Davies.
Right. Ooh.
What I wanted to tell you though, because remember, we're all talking about this show about running, just and busting moves, so people put us on hustles, right? And tell me what you think about this story I heard. So when I was at the G-Eazy show, and when I finally decided to leave, I was talking to, I remember the promoter that I was talking to when I first got in, and he was outside chilling. He kind of put me onto something to keep in mind. This is primarily for those who might be interested in organizing events, maybe you want to promote some parts of your own, maybe you want to book an artist, sell some tickets off that artist's appearance. He told me, he was like, the only way he really makes money is when he invites an artist or a talent, whatever the talent may be, in which the talent actually is kind of sort of appealing and there's no threat to like on the other side of the spectrum. He's saying they've booked other artists that probably are known to run with the extra deep crew who may have some threatening characters in the crew, in which the hip hop police, and the promoter told me, he's like, there is the hip hop police. They shut that artist's whole set down. So the artist never comes. He was talking about YG, that booked YG. And he said, it's really nothing to do with YG himself. But the hip hop police knows that YG might be showing up with some guys that may be on their NYPD's radar. And because of that, by the time the artist pulls up to the venue, NYPD shuts it down. And he says, as a promoter, that messes with his money big time.
His niggas in New York like YG.
Yeah, they do. YG gets love in the city.
Yeah, wild love.
And that kind of like put me on. So that kind of like made me think about things like in terms of booking artists. Like in 2018 now, is that really something we got to deal with still?
Like booking artists? Nah,
well,
gonna change them.
In terms of NYPD shutting your shit down.
Oh yeah, you gonna deal with that for a while now, bro. Because a lot of these guys are like, I like YG. So just put that out there. But they do be running with even Nipsey Hussle. I like Nipsey Hussle too. It's a different side of the. You know what I mean? But they do be running with, maybe not Nipsey so much, but they do be running with like a crazy, like dudes that be crazy, bro. Shooters. You know what I'm saying? We're not even gonna say. I ain't even say that.
All right, you talking about just guys who know what the street like,
but that be fucking over shit.
That
like,
might be hot.
That be fucking over shit is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
For example, like why did obviously they got on the police, the NYPD's radar, so they did some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or they might have a track record.
But some niggas like to go to other, niggas like to go to other niggas' cities and be wild.
Yeah, so it's definitely not uncommon for someone who goes out of town. Let's say I'm a rapper, I go to LA. I might not have people in LA, so I might employ some people for protection. Now, who I employ for protection is where that issue comes in. I may want to save a couple dollars, put a couple racks in the pocket of an OG and somewhere in LA.
That's the out part.
But that's what happens. It's not. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm saying it happens though.
That's what they big you. I'm sorry. That's what he is.
You know what I mean? So people may do that, but it's not uncommon. So me personally, if I ever get when I get to that point, I'm not employing no street niggas. I'm going straight official with the shit.
But I don't even think them niggas YG. It's like YG.
Yeah, I don't think YG. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think YG's employing people. I don't want to imply that.
Real niggas.
He's respected in the street. You know what I'm saying? He's respected. But you know,
bro, when the ones that got shot up, drove from the crib to the hospital. If Cam did it, you gotta give anybody that did that shit after that a little bit of stripes.
Yeah, he got shot and then drove himself to the hospital.
You gotta give him one stripe.
No, he got a couple.
Cam did it.
He got a couple stripes. Cam did it, and then said, "I saw the nigga throw the rock."
And took the nigga phone or some shit like that.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess you gotta watch out for it. I guess that's just coming back to like if you want to make, I don't know if it's a matter of you want to make money. Watch out, cause I'm sure YG bag got hurt. He couldn't probably get the bag when they shut him down before he even get into the venue. He could go into New York.
But you can't go to the big places.
You can't move. Yeah, because who don't want to do it? Who don't want to pull up at One Oak or up and down?
You can't do no big. That's what's happening to the Kumo dude, though.
Takashi. Oh, I was out of an event. He popped up.
But right now, he can't get ish going. Like, he can't get, signed or some shit like that?
I didn't hear that story. Put me on.
He be putting out them videos where he feel like he's getting blackballed or some shit. Like, he can't get to perform or he can't get to... You gotta, look it up and give it better. But he trash. Not really trash. He got 2 hot songs. I'm sorry, bro. Got 2 hot songs. But...
I'll say this.
I don't know about it.
I'll say this. Yeah, I'm not too...
I ain't tripping that he can't get what he can't get.
I'm not too convinced. I also don't feel like he's at the point where he needs to worry about being blackballed. At the end of the day, these artists got to remember to make their music. And when your content is popping and it's primo, like, no one can block you. Don't ever trip. Look at Chris Brown.
It's not even like his shit is primo, bro. Like, some songs don't even be sounding like they're mastered, bro.
And maybe that's what the fans like. But what if that's what we can't be now judging, because then look at what we just said about Uzi Vert and those guys where they don't even be saying nothing on tracks. So we can't really.
That's why I mean, like, and they still be like, all I'm saying is that some of these songs don't even sound like they go into the master stage and they be so hot.
Right.
You feel me? That we do not care. Like, look at XX, whatever bro name is.
Yeah.
That
we call
song,
Extension. I think it's Extension.
Bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
That first song, though?
Yeah. I was knocking.
Bro.
But you did say it sounded crazy.
It sounded crazy. You just had to be really in that... You had to be in that mindset to be like, well, you know what? I like it, though. It's loud as hell, but I like it. And that's what I get from Gumo. And then I'm like, you only got 2 songs, bruh.
Yeah.
Why are you tripping?
Yeah, I think he should just focus on the music.
Sexual assault.
Oh my god. That's that nigga problem. Alright, that's his
problem. Of course
problem.
You're getting blackballed.
That's his problem. I don't know what it is. I don't think he's popping up to be worried about being blackballed. If this is the case. I think he should just focus on, when you're young, bro, just focus on the music, man. Just like, that's the one thing like these young guys don't get. Like, they're not paying attention to that aspect. Like you gotta, I know they doing their thing, and I'm not trying to be that old guy, the OG, to tell you, oh, you gotta chill, da-da-da. But y'all get too caught up in the social media shit. And I get it. I don't even know if this kid's 21. I don't even know if this kid Tekashi's 21 or any of these young artists are even 21 to go into a club. But I was at a club and he pulled up at a club. In the city. It was at LaSuque, and it was him and this other kid, Corey Finesse. I think Corey Finesse from Brooklyn too. He used to run with GS9. So they were there. It was like his birthday party or something. And but like, so I'm sure he could pull up in these events, but don't get caught up. Point more to the story. Don't get caught up with this social media life, bro. That's the whole point of this show. Like, at the end of the day, people gonna check your record. They're gonna check your resume. Like, every minute, just because you feel a way, don't share it. Meek Mill said something similar to that when they I think he was talking about it in terms of like some of the trouble he's got himself into is because he was fucking high or drunk on, you know what I mean, feeling a little schmid, and then go on social media with the Twitter fingers. And then you saying shit that you wake up next morning like, I probably shouldn't have. Yo, I don't even be drinking like that when I go out. And like, just because it's so lit, I might want to post something to my IG story. The next day, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? So like, at the end of the day, though, if you focus on the music, yo, this shit gonna speak for itself. All right?
Right.
I'm done lecturing y'all. The music gonna speak for itself. Whatever you do is gonna speak for itself. So, while we were on, I don't even know, while we took a little break, what we did miss was, how'd you feel about that Dave Chappelle shit? Did you see it?
I want to stop is because I'm too goddamn.
I thought that shit was very funny. I thought I'm into Dave Chappelle. I think he's a genius.
Yeah,
I'm way past that. I'm way past questioning shit anymore.
Yeah. What'd you think about Dave Chappelle's show compared to his first? So he released these last two, right? But before this, last year, he released like a first two specials.
Yeah.
Now, which ones are better, the first two or this last two that just came out?
I guess the next ones.
The last two that just dropped?
Yeah, I guess just to answer the question.
I kind of agree with that. I was fortunate to go to a Dave Chappelle comedy show, a Dave Chappelle show at Radio City Music Hall. Not this last one because he was at Radio City Reese like a couple months back, but like a couple years ago I went to Radio City. It's kind of like his first reappearance.
Right.
And I honestly could not stop laughing. Like, it got to a point like, towards the end, like you were laughing so much, you're like, yo, I want to run out of here because your face is hurting. You want to stop laughing. Like, it was really that hilarious. When I saw the first two specials on Netflix, it was funny, but it didn't remind me of that. These last two, the first of the last two, that reminded me of like, it was so funny that like I couldn't stop laughing. He had some really good jokes there.
I definitely think Dave Chappelle. I don't know what it is, bro. Like I think I feel what you're saying. Like when I watched one of his old ones back in the day, I felt the same way. But when I went back to it, shit was wild. And then I feel like he's just on a different level. If we go back and watch, like let's say we go back and watch that first one, you're gonna die laughing. That thing is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think we have different, like when jokes go off. Like, I think we're both gonna bust out. We went to the one with what's the name, Michael Che, and that shit was kind of funny too. But
yeah.
But like Dave Chappelle, I think he's a genius, bro. And then some of the times I'm not even looking for these jokes. Like that Emmett Till that he did, I thought that was
the Emmett Till. So what was that? I thought that was a crazy stuff because I watched it when I watched the specials with my mom. She was like my mom's listening, so don't blame her if she's not too keen on African American history. But she was like, this story is true. I'm like, yeah, ma, it's like this really happened. And I mean, for him to be able to. For Dave Chappelle to be able to fit that in, we'll talk about that because the Emmett Till thing. Because I actually, when I went to DC and I went to the African American Museum of Natural History and Culture, it's a new Smithsonian museum. It's the newest Smithsonian museum in DC, and like they actually have a viewing of Emmett Till's casket.
Right.
And this is like we got in pretty easily, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And I found out a lot about his mom, which and Dave Chappelle was very true. Like his mom was G'd up about it. Like he was like his mom was G'd up. Like, when you read the writings and the sound bite she gave to the news back then, she was definitely G'd up. She was like, nah, she even said like she would think there's writings where she said when she would hear stories about things that go on in the South. And she would think of it as like that's their problem before her son being murdered, and she was like that was their problem. That's how she always saw it because she lived in Chicago. They lived in Chicago, but like after that, it changed her whole view. Like this is all of our problems.
Here it is, right here. This I was trying to look for before you stop. I'm really into like history because I know that whole. Anyway, the podcast is called "You Missed It in History Class." Check that out.
Oh,
they
yeah?
have one. They have one on her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they have one with her talking and everything.
that's pretty dope.
You know what I'm saying? It's really dope. She goes through that. I'm trying to find the actual title for it for you guys before the thing is over. But it's really dope, man. So when Dave Chappelle really got into that part for me, I'm like, boom. And then it was just more than that, bro. Like the elephant. Like I don't know how much. I mean, he had that one part where he's telling you, he's using that analogy about the elephant. Oh, no. First of all, he breaks down the pimp. And I think this thing was I love that book, bro.
Yeah.
I love that book. And for him to show it to me like that, like it took me a minute to figure out what he was saying.
In terms of what was the analogy?
Yeah, but soon as it was done, soon as he finished, I got it. Like, I completely was like, oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I still would be like, yo, so what happened? But I was set with that for you to end the show like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I thought that was prime time. And then my last thing he was saying, he used another little, another analogy where he used with the elephant being too close. You guys, and you so close to the elephant, all you see is this, he said penis skin, which was hilarious. But if you step back, you'll see more than the elephant. You feel me? Like I forgot what he was really saying. But you guys gotta check out that second one and really listen to it. It's way past the jokes. Really listen to it though.
Yeah, I liked his second one because the way he did it was in terms of he sat there. It was more, I heard it on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. They made the best comparison. It was like a TED Talk.
Right.
You know, like when you're watching those TED Talks on YouTube, it was definitely like a TED Talk. The second episode, because the first one was hilarious. Like I think my thing was I liked how he set up because the first episode, I'm talking about the last two, of the last two specials he did. The first of the last two specials, I don't remember the name. That's why I keep calling it that way. And I keep referring to him sequentially, but the first of the last two. He was almost flexing his comedic chops. He was like, I am the shit at this.
Right.
He had setups. The whole thing, like, I kick her in her pussy. Like, like that whole, and then, he started off the show with, like, kick her in the pussy. He ends the show with, like, kicks her in the pussy. It was like that whole, his ability to tell a story was, it's second to none. And then, so he was definitely like flexing, like I'm the shit when it comes to this comedy thing. And then the second of the two specials, that was more so, yeah, I'm good with this comedy thing, but because I haven't had the opportunity to really share with you, he talked about the Harvey Weinstein and the whole Hollywood getting pretty much blown up for misconduct. And just like outright outlandish animalistic behavior.
That wasn't like a teaching moment.
It was
compare that moment to the moments.
It wasn't. So yeah. So it wasn't. I'm not saying he was teaching there. I'm saying
it was funny.
I'm saying that he hasn't had the time to really share with us those point of views that he used to be able to when he had the comedy show. So he like kind of took that time to share with us his reflection on what the hell's been going on. And sometimes Dave Chappelle is one of those guys where I want to hear his kind of view on those things. He even talked about Louis C.K., which is his boy. You know what I'm saying? He even threw a shot at Kevin Hart, which is his boy. Which I appreciate that level of that level of honesty and truth.
Chris Rock already said he's the greatest of all time, and Eddie Murphy.
And Kevin Hart.
You can actually just type them in. I don't even know why. Like,
Kevin Hart said that.
Bro is the best.
Yeah, he's
you
the
didn't
best.
get to see Richard Pryor, blah blah blah. And in the first one, if you guys go back, because like Donnie talks about Donald Trump in that one, bro, he's nice.
Yeah, he was
go
really
back and
funny.
watch all of them back to back.
Yeah, he was
That's
really
what
funny.
I say to you guys to do. Please, just do it. If you really wanna like hear both sides of what we're both saying, watch all.
Yeah,
of
listen
them.
to it, and I'd love to hear your point of view. Like, share us with you. Give us a couple thumbs up.
Definitely.
You got the gram to let us know. So that was awesome. I loved how he did the thing with, like, he's been getting some heat. I don't know if you heard, like, he's got some heat about it in terms of, you know, he was his insensitivity.
Yeah, transgender shit and all that shit.
Trannies keep coming up. I gotta stop. Is it bad to call? I don't wanna. Listen. When I say tranny, like I said, I just figured out the difference between transgender and transsexual. When I say trannies, because I don't know if your gender is trans or your sex is trans. So I just say tranny just to save us all the trouble of trying to decipher who from who. So please don't get offended. But he's been getting some flack, and I kind of like that he made that show. His special almost like addresses the heat he's about to get before the heat really came to him. And like, yeah, you can't be sensitive listening to Dave Chappelle. You can't be sensitive listening to any comedian. And that's pretty much it. I think he's a really genius, and I agree with you 100%.
I don't know how people can critique him.
You can critique. It's all right. That's like a part of life. As any profession, like, people are gonna critique this show.
No, I understand you could critique him, but I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I don't see how you could like the way his whole style is, the way his format is structured, everything is put up. Like, he's going to say the most craziest.
You mean you don't? So like, you're saying like you don't know how people can be offended, or you don't know how people could like not like him?
I guess so. Not even just not like him, because he's saying things. He's like Donald Trump.
I don't think he's that bad.
He's not like Donald Trump, but he's saying like how Donald Trump. They say Donald Trump says both sides, or he speaks. He can speak what you would say at home.
Yeah, you would say something at home.
Dave Chappelle's doing the exact same thing, and he goes way overboard. Like, he goes way overboard all of the time.
Like you think he
So
like
it's
pushes
like-
the limits.
All the time. So it's like, after a thing, I expect him to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
I expect someone to be fucking.
Look, you can never be great trying to please everybody, and that's just a fact of life. But you can achieve greatness by sticking to the fucking guns and doing whatever the fuck you want and knowing yourself. And I think he does, and that's why he's great.
Facts.
Where are we in terms of the show right now? I feel like, so we discussed what the things we went over, the places we went to last month, ending of last month, the last two concerts. We talked a little bit about DC. It was a great time I had, and I went to the Smithsonian Museum, African American of History and Culture. It's a long name. Bear with me, but it's the 19th one. It's the latest one. If you could get in,
We'll put it in.
yeah, if you can get in, I advise you to go. They always have an exhibit to go to. I love the flow of it because they start you in the 1400s, basically, and then you go through like time, pretty much. That's how it's designed. And you start from the basement, you go all the way up to the top floor. They go into current times now. They go into, like, they have some artwork where we went. We kind of found like a little like cut way on a cut viewing section on the like second or third floor, and they had artwork presented to us, which I love the artwork. I appreciate it, because now I still don't know shit about art, but I know more than I did yesterday. And so that was a really good experience, and I went with some friends, which was pretty dope. And what else? After that was DC. That was like the one culture thing. Then, of course, DC was a great time for New Year's Eve. I love DC. I think if you're about to go to college, go to college in DC. It's probably second to New York or Boston. It's probably third. I'd say it's the third best in the East Coast city to go to college in. And then then we talked about DC. Talked about the shows. What are we looking at? We talked about the Dave Chappelle. Then we're
We're looking at the Davies.
And we're looking at going at the Davies concerts and going to Davey concert and the Rich Forever with Rich the Kid, Jay Critch, and Famous Dex. So that's kind of the roundup of the show, kind of everything we covered.
Yeah.
All right. So anything y'all coming up you want to let people know about?
Just the Davies. That show's gonna be sick.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna try. I definitely want to go to the something on
MLK Day.
Yeah, that's it. I think we went over. We dead ass went over there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Super dope. So,
but we are going to I got a Twitter, so if I have any updates, definitely will put them up there. I have an Instagram. I'll start using it.
All right. You already use it. He's front end. He uses the show all the time. Anyway, if you want a reminder of what it's like to move around these streets, subscribe to this channel. We're not scammers. We're not drug dealers. We're not shooters. We're just students of the game, and we gain inspiration from the streets. From the club promoters to the IG models to the rappers to the street philosophers to the hustlers in all shapes and sizes, y'all inspire this show. Again, it's Aaron Hugh.
Ace Bigger Valley.
1.